If two wise men, two mature people met, they would only laugh because maturity brings them clarity that prevents misunderstandings between them. When everything is clear, only love remains. The ego is the only thing that separates people and destroys everything, including our relationships. If there is no maturity in any person, then happens something called ego compromise. A relationship between two people that is a simple exchange of giving and receiving, driven by self-interest. Brother against brother, partner against partner, one against other. We don't create together, we fight each other. We give enough to keep the other side from leaving, but too little to make them happy. Who will take more and who will give less? We don't get as much as we expected, so we choose not to give as much as we can. And the only thing we should ask, as always, is, what do I have to learn from this relationship? In outside world, relationships are the most important things that defines a person's happiness and satisfaction. If we have matured enough to see the value of giving and want to stop ego compromise in our lives and relationships, it is right in all circumstances to give, not borrow, as much as we can. As in everything we do, creating and giving your best is the correct path to follow. Not out of ego because we expect something in return, but out of love and the need to give and create. Only when the need and expectation of reciprocity disappear, then we may get love. If we don't receive the same, then it is right to let go. And that is the only correct path for everything we do in life, including business and private life. To give love and our best, but if we don't get the same, to let go and not deal with other people's egos anymore. And when we already got the ego, our teacher, we also have to get the remedy for it, which is parenthood. A natural response to the ego, the only time we have to put someone else before ourselves. And an excellent way to become aware of our fears that we would never allow our own child out of love, because we would immediately see them and know that they are not good for them. Love is so strong that it's always showing us the truth. We will allow fears to ourselves because we are ruled by the ego and have no love for ourselves. That is why we will allow ourselves hate, envy, selfishness, and resentment. We expect correct and truthful behavior from children because we love them and want the best for them. Why don't we expect the same from ourselves? Children learn by imitating anyway, not by listening. Narcissism we would allow ourselves and brag about. We would never allow our own child out of love. Often what we consider to be our strength is our biggest weakness. It's just that we can't see it from the ego. Everyone else might be able to, but not us. Whether or not you have a child, ask yourself if you would like him to be like you. If it is not good for them, why do we think it's good for us? The ego disappears in the presence of love. When we love, we immediately see what is right and true. From love, we grow. From ego, we stagnate or fall, except in the eyes of other egos. Look around you. Are you attracted or do you consider stronger and more prominent people who care for everyone, including themselves, and are generous and full of love, or selfish and scared people? Which person do you choose to be? Therefore, take care of yourself. Nobody's saying otherwise. Just don't forget to take care of others. Take care of others. Congratulations. But don't forget to take care of yourself. All the challenges we have in life come from ego, definitely not from love. So, let's become aware then of where exactly our ego limits us in life to motivate us to take risk with maturing. The ego forces us to look everything short-term and not to take the right path, but the easier path to the abyss. We lie because it pays off in the short term, and we don't see that we will pay the price for it. We steal because it brings us short-term profit. We resent because it's easier to blame in the short term than to face the truth. The ego makes us hate and judge, again, because it's easier. It's easier to hate than to love, and it's easier to judge than to help. It's easier to hide behind the hate than to expose yourself. It's easier to complain than to do something about it. It's easier to be an asshole, and the ego likes what's easier. The ego does not allow to see ourselves as sufficient, making us incredibly dependent on external validation. This confirmation can take the form of praise, applause, material rewards, and likes on social media. Instead of listening to our soul and being who we really are, we become what others expect us to be. The ego prevents us from the completeness and versatility we should strive for to mature. It's easier to realize yourself in one aspect and, through that, get a confirmation of your worth than to expose yourself unnecessarily to mature and live a meaningful life. It is wrong to seek confirmation of one's worth, for example, exclusively through parenting, although parenting itself is not limiting but fulfilling. It's wrong to dedicate your whole life to work, although neither work nor creation is certainly wrong by itself. They just have to be a means, not the goal of achievement. The ego prevents us from objectivity and rationality because it has to be biased for or against something. And our bias distorts our perspective and will lead us away from the truth, thus preventing us from learning and knowing. Because we will always be looking for all the arguments that supports the side we have attached ourselves to, and not the arguments for the truth. And it is right not to attach ourselves, so we could take the side of the truth and defend the truth, and not our ego, whether it suits us or not, and follow that truth wherever it takes us. It will surely take us to a good and beautiful place, and thus we will find out that everything is exactly as it should be, even if it's wrong. We will stop arguing with reality, and that's why it is more important to be free than right. There is no need for that. The ego prevents us from critical thinking and wisdom. We don't have enough maturity to question the information we are surrounded by, so we accept it without filtering. Anything can hook to us. The more immature we are, the more convinced and stubborn we are. We don't seek the truth, but accept every piece of information as fact without the necessary critical review. We allow everything to grab hold of us and controls us, even though sometimes the truth screams in our faces. But it's easier for us to accept a lie without questioning it. The ego prevents us from imagination, creativity, and softness because it binds us and forces us to defend and impose when we have attached ourselves to it. And therefore, he is rigid and does not like flexibility. He likes boundaries. He is rigid and stubborn, and that's why it cracks. Stiffness cracks, flexibility resists. The ego prevents us from seeing and hearing right. It prevents us from seeing the bigger picture. We don't interpret available information correctly. Verbal and non-verbal information we interpret wrong. And life goes fast, and information goes fast. We too must be careful and ready to single out those important to us at a given moment. Learn something from them and apply them in our business and private life. Led by our ego fears, we cannot see our path and purpose. And each of us has our path. and it's always different from others. So there is no point in comparing yourself for the simple reason that it's impossible. Something that works for us will not work for someone else. So let's stop comparing ourselves. Our path is only ours and unique. And finally, why bother and progress by maturing? At the best, we are doing well as is, and when it's bad, it's not terrible. We would have to invest a lot and risk for questionable results because we can neither see nor understand what the reward for the risking is. One of the main reasons is that our ignorance will cost us. Everything costs, and ignorance will cost us too. If not now, it's just a matter of when. The first reason for silencing the ego is to prevent and eliminate suffering. And when we don't have and when we have. When we don't have, envy, greed, dissatisfaction, and many other emotions arise, and our bodies begin to crack under the pressure of our desires and hopes generated by our ego. And when, in the best case scenario, we succeed in acquiring what we wanted so much, we reach that material or ideological goal, and we manage to feel that ego satisfaction, the whole life becomes a struggle to maintain what we have acquired. No matter how high we go, that's the new normal, and everything below is small. The ego and its fears will not only manifest in our inner world, it will manifest and damage all aspects of our outer world, such as work, relationships, or family. Not only that, all emotional weaknesses will consequently manifest themselves in our physical health. Emotional immaturity is inseparable from health immunity. Nervousness, fear, and stress will affect our health. Where? As always, where we are the weakest. There is nothing more we can do for our health than to mature and become happy as a result. Another reason is that the experience and knowledge that brought us to the current level in life will not take us any further. We need new experiences and knowledges so we could unlock the door to a new floor in our maturation and find our path. Through new experiences, we get to know ourselves and the world and gain new perspectives by going through purposeful changes, by overcoming ego fears, and thus a new awareness is revealed to us. We will realize experiences that now we can neither comprehend nor understand. How to explain the wisdom of curiosity to a person who has no curiosity? How to explain purpose and motivation to a lost person or peace to a restless person? How to explain courage to fear or love to the ego? The third reason is that maturity allows us to know clarity. Clarity about ourselves, our life, higher power, and our reality. Isn't all the above worth overcoming your challenges? My name is Zoran Salopek, and in the next episode, we will look in detail our thoughts, emotions, and deeds generated by ego.